degree. Also, local area realtors turn the Gold Key project into benefits for the Ronald McDonald House. And one report shows rural Kansas school districts experience a decline in early reading levels.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
One man is in custody after stolen property and a large amount of meth is found at a home in Carl Junction. This is the KOAM News at Noon. I'm Chris Warner. Detectives with the Ozarks Drug Enforcement Team served a warrant at a home in CJ after what they call a long-term investigation. When authorities arrived, they found several stolen items on the property, including a stolen Dodge pickup out of Cedar County, a UTV out of Kansas, a camper out of Jasper County, and several trailers. Odette detectives also located a large amount of meth in a camper on that property. A Baxter Springs, Kansas home invasion suspect is recovering in the hospital after he was shot by the resident. The shooting happened last night. Baxter Springs Police Department got a call just before 9 about a person breaking into a house. On the way to that call, they learned that someone at that location had been shot. Police say the suspect, Sean Talent Jr., allegedly broke into the home, assaulted the resident, and was shot once in the thigh and again in the calf. Talent is charged with aggravated burglary, aggravated assault, and criminal damage to property. No one else has been charged. And it is the first day of December, and I don't know about anybody else, but you almost have to double check your calendar to be sure, because if you step outside, you look outside, it does not seem like the first day of December at all.
You know, in the entire month of November, Chris, we had 4 days that were 70-plus degrees. We're going to turn 2 more days in the first 3 days of December.
That's just incredible.
It has been great. Now today, we're not going to quite get to that 70-degree mark, but there cannot be any complaints about the way it feels outside right now, especially when you look up to the northwestern portion. We've had about a 25, 27-degree jump as everybody pretty much sits in between about 60 and 63 degrees. We got Iola still sitting there at 58, but remember, we got a couple hours for we hit that peak heating time. No rain, no cloud cover, a whole bunch of changes as far as what we were pre-sunrise. Midwest looking very nice. You can almost tell how the clouds want to swirl around us and make a big circle. As far as what we're looking at nationally, that jet stream refusing to move, so still flooding concerns on the Pacific Northwest, but what it means for us, a little bit of a warm front's on the way. And so while you think today looks good, ho, 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 wait until we get into Tuesday, or wait until we get into the second and third, Thursday and Friday. There we are tomorrow morning, hanging around, say mid-40s, even some 50s up there. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to jump into the 70s, and that's a trend that we're going to be able to sustain for 2 consecutive days. 72 and then 74 on Thursday and Friday. Chris, even Saturday and Sunday, that's way above seasonable, and that'll give us some much-needed rain. Next cold front really doesn't want to drop in until Sunday afternoon, take us into Sunday night / Monday morning.
I liked your Santa impression a moment ago. I don't even know if you realized you did it.
That was actually not a Santa impression. That was a little taste of Texas that came out of me. And it's just because it's December. You know, it's like, ho, ho, ho!
This is Texas, and this is December in Texas, though, isn't it?
Every now and then I'll give you a ho, 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 a whoa, Nelly, a good night, Irene. So what you would do is you'd be like, hey, today is going to be 66, and good night, Irene. Look at Thursday and Friday.
I think we need a whole segment on Texas talk with Michael Hayslip.
It's actually just, we call it the Hayslip Old Man Sayings.
All right, that sounds good. Michael, we'll look forward to that. Thank you. Some area organizations used this Giving Tuesday as a fundraising opportunity to help those in need. That included Connect to Culture in Joplin. Now, Facebook was matching donations made to the arts organization through the platform. C2C also says an anonymous donor has agreed to match up to $5,000 in donations.
You know, sometimes people aren't thinking about showing their appreciation for different organizations, and this is what the day is all about. It's about showing appreciation for Connect to Culture, what it provides the Joplin area, how it helps it grow, and I just hope that they'll consider, you know, donating $5, $10. You know, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of money.
Officials say the funds raised yesterday will help keep things running through the year. Pitt State is giving social work students a new opportunity to advance their education. PSU is now offering a master's degree in social work through a partnership with the University of Kansas. Students in the first group are already pursuing the new degree option.
So this allows students to stay in the area, to get their degree and stay here. It also, since we have the 2-year program where they're able to do the first year at PSU, our tuition is great at PSU, so it's an affordable way.
In the first year of the program, students take courses in PSU's social work program to earn a foundation graduate certificate. Then they'll take a year of clinically focused classes taught by KU faculty. Home sellers spread the love to a home away from home. Reese Nichols Realtors from Joplin and Neosho today presented a $5,300 check for the Ronald McDonald House of the Four States. It's part of the Gold Key project launched in Kansas City last year. Participating agents agree to donate $100 for every closing during the months of April through October. 5 Ronald McDonald houses benefit.
Up there, and we did.
Our goal this year for 2021 was a $100,000 goal to donate to those 5 Ronald McDonald houses, and we wound up with just shy of $236,000 between April 1st through October 31st of this year.
The Ronald McDonald House provides shelter and resources for families of children in the hospital. A report by a Kansas nonprofit shows rural Kansas school districts experienced the greatest decline in early reading levels from 2019 to 2021 compared to other Kansas districts. Now, this comes from public data showing rural school districts suffered more learning losses following pandemic-related school closures. Some area districts fared pretty well, but the Columbus School District says it's seen this learning gap firsthand and says a lack of funding plays a big part.
I think what hurts rural schools, we don't have maybe the resources you would have in more, larger cities and things. So we were able, with ESSER money, to get caught up with some of the things that we fall behind in because we don't have the funding maybe you see in larger settings.
The Columbus Superintendent says they're now using federal pandemic funding to introduce new programs for students who may have fallen behind. Well, it was such a hit last year, the Joplin Parks and Rec Department, they're doing it again. What is it they're doing? This, the Holiday Tree Trail, and it's a series of decorated trees from area businesses and organizations placed along a portion of the trail at Mercy Park. The city lit the trees last night at a special event that included performances by Karen's Dance Studio. It also included hot cocoa, cookies, and even a visit by that guy, Santa himself.
I love all of the trees. These businesses and organizations have worked so hard to get these trees out here and decorated, and they've just done a fantastic job in helping us make this event happen.
Now, guests who walk the trail can vote for their favorite tree through December 22nd, when the winners will receive prizes. The trees will be on display through the end of the month. Well, last night was our first Toy Box Tuesday of the year, and I'm telling you, we're not done yet. Next Tuesday, at noon, 5, and 6, we'll have volunteers standing by to take your phone-in monetary donations to help buy toys for area kids in need. Now, if you can't wait until next Tuesday, and I know how gracious the 4 states are, you can always donate on our website anytime, anywhere at KOAMNewsNow.com. And that is a look at today's top stories and weather in the first 7 minutes. Up next on the KOAM News at noon.
An effective new treatment to fight HIV. I'm Ian Lee with what it means on this World AIDS Day.
And later, we're heading to the North Pole for a fun holiday recipe straight from Mrs. Claus. Nearly 40 million people around the globe live with HIV, and just last year, 680,000 people died from AIDS-related illnesses, according to the United Nations. But there is hope on this World AIDS Day, as scientists have a new treatment to battle the disease. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Every day, Jonathan Blake's routine starts here. He's lived with HIV for nearly 40 years and has to take these pills to keep the virus at bay.
When I was originally diagnosed, there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. Just a death sentence.
But antiviral drugs with his morning coffee may be a thing of the past.
The key benefit is offering choice. treatment for HIV in itself has been one of the big successes of modern medicine.
More than 1 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and until recently, their only treatment option has been a daily cocktail of drugs. But at Queen Mary University in London, Professor Chloe Orkin and her team have developed a way to replace some of those pills with an injection 6 times a year.
Taking this to the next level and reducing the treatment days from 365 to 6 treatment days a year is a real paradigm shift and a new breakthrough.
The UK's National Institute for Health found her shot was just as effective as taking all those pills. The injection has also been cleared for use in the United States. And for Blake, well, he's just in awe at how far treating HIV has come.
Basically, I've been given 6 months to live. But now, I mean, there is this plethora of effective medication.
Which means HIV patients aren't just surviving, but able to live a fuller life. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And on this World AIDS Day, Pope Francis has called for a renewed commitment to guarantee efficient and equitable treatment for parts of the world that lack essential care. Well, still to come on the KOAM News at noon, it's Mr. Food.
Grab yourself a big glass of milk, because if you love Christmas cookies, you're not going to want to miss this.
But first, Michael Hayslip, he's going to return with your complete forecast.
Besides the possible records that we've been talking about to begin December, I also want to point out an average high of 52 degrees because those are going to be our overnight lows as we head into the weekend. Just getting spoiled to begin our 12th month here. 62 degrees over 7th and Rangeline in Joplin. Barometer holding steady, and you'll notice the complete shift of the wind from what we had this morning as it now comes in from the northwest, but still throwing up a whole bunch of low to mid 60s already. And the Skywatch storm tracker that, despite the fact, brought us almost overcast skies this morning and even some light sprinkles, we are clear as can be with everything just kind of circling right around us. Now, as far as what the jet stream have in store, this thing has not moved, especially when we talk about what's on the Pacific Northwest. So while it's been very stagnant for us, out here is where you get the old atmospheric river grabbing everything off the Pacific. Massive flooding concerns throughout the Pacific Northwest, especially Washington State. Also, too, strong possibility of mudslides for them. What we're going to have here in the 4 states, however, is that low pressure system forcing all this rain, and that was a little part of ours earlier this morning, forcing it all to the east and replacing it with some warmth that'll come right out of Texas. An afternoon planner that lifts us up into the 60s today, but it's just going to get better after that. As we jump into Thursday morning, very comfortable, high 40s, even some 50s. And then for Thursday afternoon, we've got a smattering of 70s. And then for Friday, even a little bit warmer. So we're going to have to get up to about 72, 73 on Thursday to challenge the record. Friday, I tell you what, if we pull off that 75 that we have on the 7-day forecast, there are going to be no questions about breaking a record. And you'll notice where everything wants to arrive from with the color contour, and it just bumps right up there out of the south. Very warm temperatures as far as the Nebraska-Kansas state line for the most part. Now, when we get to Saturday, then we start to change our tune a little bit. Little Gulf moisture begins to kick up. It's slow moving, though. It's going to take a while before it gets to us. Hangs around, kind of dominates Arkansas, portions of eastern Oklahoma. Certainly not looking at anything severe. But then as it gets more widespread from Saturday into Sunday, we'll notice some definitive changes, especially when it comes to our temperatures, because that's where we should be right there from Sunday into Monday. We should be around 32 degrees at night. But as Chris and I have been talking about, the big difference is what's it actually going to feel like to us coming off of days that mid 60s over the weekend and those pair of 70s before we get there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to make those temperatures that are normal feel sub-zero.
Give you a chance to take all the winter clothes that you had to use there at the end of November, throw them in the washing machine one time, and then they'll be good to go next week.
Yeah, you've got a few days. Make sure you're washing your winter clothes. Get your coats out again. You're going to need them. Michael, thank you so much. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Corporal Gary Markison served in the Marines during Vietnam with the Marine Air Group, his hometown, Neosho. We're proud to recognize Corporal Gary Markison, today's 4-state hero. And of course, remember, if you want to learn more about other heroes or nominate one of your own at any time, you know what to do. Head over to our website. It's KOAMNewsNow.com. When Christmas Eve gets here, we know it's time to put out cookies and milk for Santa, but you may want to leave him something special. And Howard, Mr. Food Test Kitchen, shares with us Mrs. Claus's favorite recipe for these tasty treats.
We're combining two of Mrs. Claus's holiday favorites, gingerbread and eggnog, into one incredible cookie cup. We start by preparing a package of gingerbread cookie and cake mix according to the package directions and rolling them into balls. Then we place each ball in a muffin cup and press them down gently before baking them. As soon as they come out of the oven, using a shot glass or the handle of a wooden spoon, we create a well in the center of each one before popping them back into the oven. After they finish baking, we press the center down again and let them cool while we whip up a fluffy eggnog cream to fill them with. Not only are these super tasty, they're also so much fun. As a matter of fact, rumor has it that Mrs. Claus makes these for Santa and all the elves right before they head out on Christmas Eve. To get the recipe for what we call Mrs. Claus's Holiday Cookie Cups, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a ho-ho-ho kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
That does look pretty tasty. And of course, if you're interested, you can find this recipe along with a lot more great food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. All you need to do, go to our website, koamnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at 4 state market prices.
Make it up into the mid-60s later on today. It'd be delightful overnight as well, well above the freezing mark, probably bottom out there mid-40s, and then prepare for the 70s and a wonderful start to December before we finally get a cold front, but we won't even have to worry about that until we get to Sunday.
Yeah, those temperatures look absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we're talking about 70s by Friday. I can live with that.
Unbelievable.
Something else we can live with. Dow Quick's joining us now with what's coming up on the KOM News at 5.
A lot at 5. For starters, protesters are gathered outside the Supreme Court where justices are hearing arguments today in a case that could allow states to outlaw abortion. Plus, while the temperatures have been nice, as we said, now is the time to start thinking about winterizing your home. It will get cold eventually. We'll have some tips from the Economic Security Corporation. And we're going to head to Pitt State for the Community Project Showcase. Hope you join us for those stories. A whole lot more, of course, and it's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dow, Michael, thank you both so much, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 5. Thanks for making us part of your day.